What is something that you realized from being with yourself more often throughout the pandemic?
Can I curse on here?
Oh fuck yeah, I curse on this bitch all the time. So you can say whatever the fuck whatever you say. It's just whatever you don't want the world to have to know. But you
Okay.
can say whatever the fuck you want to say.
I'm fucking awesome.
Yes.
And I actually have like real confidence.
But how are you? How are you now in 2021?
I'm good now. I got a new job last year, right before the pandemic started. It's been going really well. I work for my uncles. Well, now one uncle. I sell resort wear and I get to travel to all the warm places.
And like wear the wear or try the try the wear.
Oh, resort wear.
It's
So
resort clothing, right? Like
resort clothing. So like cover ups, board shorts, swimsuits, sandals.
right. So you go and like try it on and then like try it in the like a resort setting. Is that why you go into the warm
Oh God,
places?
so you think I'm a model?
Duh.
Um, no, I go to trade shows and we sell our line, but it's wholesale.
Oh, that makes more sense. Okay.
So you're buying in pre-packs and you can't just buy like one garment, you're buying 12 garments. So like
Oh
we sell to
shit.
boutiques and like Ron John and Sun Stations.
Oh wow. That must be a lot of
It's been
fun.
a lot of fun.
So do you feel like you look at clothes differently now too? You kind of just like when you look at resort wear somewhere else, you're like, oh, I know that when I got that wholesale at Ron John last week.
Yeah, for sure. Also like um I can buy clothes to like I don't know if I should be saying this, but
You
buy
can't
clothes
say it.
to,
Don't
like
say it. Anything you can, everything you say can and will be used against you in the court of law.
okay, SVU. um but like I can just like buy a bunch of clothes and like get ideas.
So now you're like your self fashion's on a whole new level too, huh?
Yeah.
I feel like your fashion already was already at a pretty like a pretty high level already.
Really?
Yeah, like yeah.
I I don't think I'm really a summer girl though. I think this has made me more into like bathing suits and like a different side of me.
Yeah, I think you're definitely like the fall, like chill vibe kind of girl. This is
Yeah.
from what I know. But yeah, that adding that extra avenue of like the summer clothes, I feel like definitely that would definitely change like the way you dress too, though. That's interesting concept actually. When you think about it, because I feel
I
like I
know
don't
because
really dress that
I have
much
like winter
either.
fall down, but now I can have spring summer.
Yeah, so now you can just be on it fucking
I
24/7 or
can
three
fashion
sixty
all year
five.
round.
So
Exactly.
so do you also think that do you feel like there's like a new like you just unlock like a new like life power or something like that? You know, like haha, I got like summer vibes now.
Yeah, what's also interesting is I I I'm very average. I'm like a very average person. I like take confidence in that. Like I never peaked at anything. I was never like a straight A student. I was never like star athlete.
I prefer the term consistent.
Yeah, I'm very consistently average.
Hey, seats get
um,
degrees, so I'm with you on that.
I know, but like that's how I've always gotten through life. So it's funny how I've had so many jobs like after college, even during college and during high school, and like now I'm very comfortable. It's very nice to like have my own house, be able to pay my own rent, and like be very comfortable at work and like enjoy what you do.
I think that might be the best sentence I heard all week. Like everything in your life just feels like it's in a good place, huh?
Yes. And I don't know, like it definitely made me reflect a lot over the pandemic. Like we were off for 4 months, we shut down, and it really like made me realize and like spend a lot of time with myself. And it was a lot of fun.
that what do you think what is something you realize you think that kind of something that you thought about that made you what is something that you realized from being with yourself more often throughout the pandemic?
Can I curse on here?
Oh fuck yeah, I curse on this bitch all the time. So you can say whatever the fuck you whatever you say, it's just whatever you don't want the world to have to know. But you
Okay.
can say whatever the fuck you want to say.
I'm fucking awesome.
Yes.
And I actually have like real confidence.
That is fucking amazing.
And
That
like the
is
people love it. And I love it.
that's all
It's
you
like
fucking need then.
I just like have a new like aura to myself
Ooh. You
that
got
I never
a new spring
discovered.
vibe to you now, you think?
I know it's this new summer Kels.
I fucking love it. I fucking love it. I agree with that. I think 2020 gave people for all the bad things that happened and stuff that happened, the time people had alone to kind of sit with themselves and kind of discover who they really are. You know, I feel like a lot of times we end up we love people that we're around, but we end up taking in some of their energy and attributes that we may not always think that it's us, but we're surrounded so much so you think it's you. So I think having that time alone to kind of just being like, oh shit, like I don't really like this that much, or this isn't really me. And you're like,
Yeah.
ah, and you kind of like slowly like chip things away, and you're like, you know
Mhm.
what? I am fucking awesome. So that's the shit. That's the fucking energy I'm talking about today, Kels.
Yeah, for sure. And also, obviously we couldn't go out. I didn't leave the house for 4 months. And I take pride in a lot of like my relationships with my friends and family. And I don't have time for acquaintances. And I think that's like what the going out culture became. And it was like becoming exhausting, keeping up with so many people.
Yeah, yeah. I think that's a very good uh, analysis of like what happened. Because the going out culture, just a lot of things between the going out culture, between just doing shit. What's important you really stuck to when you had nothing else to do. When you're stuck at home alone, you
Right.
only really do the things you really give a fuck about.
Right.
So I think everything you said definitely puts you on the better half of the 2020 spectrum. Because I think a lot of people went like more up. They like discovered more things about themselves and like hit new heights of reality and like fucking like boom, I'm so
Mhm.
many great things. But then the other half is like other people are just like fuck this, fuck everything, and they just got
I mean,
real like darker.
yeah, I had those moments too,
Right, but you broke out of it, right? Like,
but more positives than negatives.
fuck yeah,
Luckily. Luckily.
fuck yeah. So, what do you
Yeah.
feel like? How do you feel like your 2021 season is? I mean, we're already 4 months in. So,
I
do you
know.
feel
What can I say?
how's it?
I'm
How's
ready
it
for
treating you so far?
I know, well, we're summer babies.
We are.
Our birthdays are coming up.
July's very own.
We we get to reflect on all the birthdays we spent together.
So
How many
many.
years you've known me.
I know it's been a minute. It's been a long ass time. Do you think do you feel like a lot of times when you're like when you meet people and you're on like do you think a lot of the traits that are in the zodiac thing are true?
Um, yeah. I think if I were to read you what a Leo is, I think I would check all the boxes.
Because I think,
Are we gonna be reading horoscopes? Sorry.
I mean, you could read one right now. I wouldn't mind it. I think I think it'd be funny content. Because my thing about it is, I think, I think a lot of things are whatever you want them to be. So I think it is. I think most of the horoscopes work if you want them to work, and if you don't want them to work, they're not going to work either. Because there's just such a like whatever you are, you whatever you want to look for, you're gonna see. So I think you can always find like a good place to be. Like when I'm like, oh, I'm a fit bro. I'm like, oh, I'm fit because I do squats, or like I eat broccoli, and like I'm like, yeah, I did my push-ups today. I think there's a lot of times there's a lot of things that we like put in ourselves, identify with that like our internal and external usually like to reflect each other. So I do think that horoscopes have a lot of influence because if you read it and you're like so me and it is so you because like you want it to be you.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yep.
I agree.
Can you read one though? I'm definitely. If you want to look one up, I'll just talk and then Mike in the meantime because this is good content. I don't have like an intern yet to be like, yo, P boy. Well, that's on 2 seconds in
So
the pod, but
so I'll read the Leo horoscope and you can say if I'm any of these things.
okay.
Okay. People born under the sign of Leo are natural born leaders. They are dramatic, creative, self-confident, dominant, and extremely difficult to resist, able to achieve anything they want in any area of life they commit to. There is a specific strength to a Leo and their quote king of the jungle status. Leo often has many friends, for they are generous and loyal, self-confident and attractive. This is a sun sign capable of uniting different groups of people and leading them as one towards a shared cause. And their healthy sense of humor makes collaboration with others even easier. That was a paragraph about myself.
What did you have that queued up already? Like, did you this like already in the thing, or do you have like alerts? Because you had that thing like it took you like 2 seconds to find. It is you. But you had that shit
It's
like you just literally
Google.
swipe that shit up and it came up.
Good old Google tells you your horoscope.
Do you think which one do you think is the most you? What part of it is it like the confidence? You said you're fucking awesome.
I
Is it the
think
confidence, the being yourself thing?
I think also where it says Leo often has many friends for they are generous and loyal. I'm very loyal.
I agree with that.
Self-confident and attractive, obviously.
Go ahead, Kels. Talk your shit. Talk your shit.
I don't
I,
know if I'm really a natural born leader though. Sometimes I do let people take the range for me.
I think that's just part of the whole self-realization of 2020, unlocking your inner self and then finding your inner leader.
I like when people make plans for me.
Well, there you go. I think that's a good conversation in itself. Um, we can go here that we can take the conversation here. Do you feel like because I feel like a lot of girls like when dudes do more stuff to take charge, but I didn't know if that was just like it could be just a specific person thing, or do you think it's more women thing overall? What are your thoughts on it?
I have a lot of thoughts on it. I think
Now we pod.
es- especially like being single, I think I always am more prone to I'm more like self-aware and more aware of the people around me and like who I'm dating and just everything. Like my dad raised me to always like have a guy open up the door for me. Like don't settle for anything less. He opens every door for me. So like I can't settle like I can't settle for that. um I forget what the question was.
I think we were talking about dudes setting it up. I like that. That's a good philosophy to have. I think the values that you get instilled from youth reflect a lot of how you act when you're older. I think that's a good rule of thumb to have. Having that person like open the door for you. I think that's a good model to base off. What level of I guess commitment or energy the person has for you. I think that's a good way to put it. I think but the original question was the same way. Do you think that the whole setting up? Do you think that uh the the what did you say? The exact word you said was having things taken set up for you. So like the whole like plans laid out thing. You said that.
Oh,
What
oh, oh.
do you think that is more of just like a youth thing, or you think it's more women overall? You feel like it's something in age? What do you think?
No, I think women like when a guy's like, let's meet for dinner at this place at this time. Like I like that when someone is telling me where to go at that time. Um, but I think it's hard now because if I'm online dating, these people don't know me. So like if they're like, hey, like let's go bowling at 5 o'clock, I'm like, okay, like I'm not going bowling, sorry. So it depends on like the situation.
I agree. It does depend. I think because
But yes, I do like when guys make a plan, but I also like when we can agree on something that we have in common.
Yeah, the there's a lot of good points on there. The um the online dating thing is definitely tough because you don't have really any context. The whole thing is kind of just like very much. It's basically just like a uh if you look hot or not basically thing from the beginning.
Yeah.
Um, so you don't really know what the person like is personally or what their values are, which is like the biggest part of what everything is. So I think the online dating is definitely super hard to kind of get. Like I was on there for a little bit, but I was like, fuck that shit. It's just too much work and not enough reward. I was just like,
I've had
fuck.
no success.
Yeah, it's. I think they need to do if they did change it, they would have to make it like I don't know how they would have to make it so like you have like who you are on the inside first, and then like the more you find out, you see what they look like at the end. You know what I mean? So that way, it's like you're already connecting like whatever like your little weird random weird thing is. So like I love like I eat PB&J with milk. That's like something like not too crazy, but it's something small that people do. And like someone else like, oh, I do that shit too. And then like the next page, they would show what they're doing. Damn, it's actually a pretty good app now. This is a great idea. Um, but if they did it in reverse, so it was like people showed what like their deepest stuff first, and then went out further away, and then
Yeah.
showed who they were at the end, then I think it would have a better success rate because it's harder to be like, oh well, I'm just showing all my fucking inside shit, than like there's nothing really to even decide through, as opposed to just being like who they are on the outside, who like you want to be perceived as.
Did you just tell the whole world your app idea?
I think I just did. I think I might have just invented. I don't know what am I gonna call it. Holy shit! I think
I
I'm just.
co-sign on that.
But for real, I'm like, God damn, I just dropped a fucking gem. All right, get me talking, and just the shit just pops out.
um yeah. um yeah, I've had no success on a dating app. It's also really fucking hard with COVID. You can't go to the bar, you can't meet someone. That was my the only way of meeting people, was going out and talking to everybody at the bar until someone liked me to keep talking.
Kelsey. Kelsey, oh my gosh. Yeah. Um, it is tough. But I mean stuff's opening up now too though. So at least like that saga's done
I
ish.
know, but it's different here. The rules are that you can't move from your table.
God, so you're stuck sitting down everywhere?
So when I go to the bar, I have to go sit down. I have to order food. I have to order drinks, and I have to stay seated until I leave for leave my reservation.
Yes, it's fucking terrible.
There's no like, you can't sit at the bar anymore. You can't stand at the bar. You can't stand and talk to the person next to you. You're 6 feet away from them still.
You might have to like get creative now. You gotta like pass notes. I guess that would break COVID
No,
rules too
good
then.
idea.
You write on a napkin like, hey. Or like I guess we'll have to just like learn how to airdrop people, like
I was
random
gonna
people in
say
the
I
area.
have done airdrops before.
That's a nice like little segue. What's the best one? What was it like? Was it like, hey, like 3 tables over, wink, wink.
I was at where was I? I was at Fet Sal, and there were these two guys that were like across the all the way across. They must have sent the whole restaurant. The whoever had their airdrop on, it was him and his dog, and he took a selfie and sent it to the whole restaurant.
The whole restaurant.
Well, whoever had their airdrop on.
I mean, that's good. I guess I was thinking more of like a smooth, like, hey, girl in the black.
Well, how do you send a message through airdrop?
I don't know. I just forget. Like he sent it to everyone in the restaurant, so I'm sure he sent it. I think you can pick. He probably sent everyone, but like it's
Anyone
just
who had a girl name?
it's like sliding. It's like sliding the DMs, kind of like. But like I don't know. They'll probably invent some. They'll probably some technology person will invent an app that just does that exact thing, like a room Tinder basically. Because if the rule is going to be like you can't sit down or can't move, they're gonna have to figure it out somehow because the bar is like a social setting.
Right.
But what
Well,
about
what's
like
in California? Can you move around in California?
some places you technically some places you shouldn't with the same rules. Other places they don't really give a fuck. It depends on where
Yeah.
you go.
Have you met anyone out at the bar?
And then I haven't gone out. My ass has been inside the whole
Oh,
time because I just been doing other shit. So I haven't even gone out.
Oh, okay.
But I mean, I don't know. I'll be going out pretty soon, so we'll see how that goes. Um, but I think that there's just so much shit that I'm just like, I don't know. This is a new beginning. There's a new us. It's a new world.
I'm fully vaccinated now. It's a whole new world for me.
There we go. How do you feel?
I feel great. It was so nice. Well, it wasn't so nice, but um, my grandfather passed away last week,
Oh, sorry to hear that.
and this was the first time my family was like able to be well, not that we haven't been together, but obviously with all the restrictions, my uncles have been very like cutthroat. Um, so my whole family's vaccinated. Everyone in my office is vaccinated, and we were all like able to sit inside and hug and kiss each other again. It was so nice.
It's a beautiful thing. Feeling warm and getting all the warm and fuzzies again.
It really is like nice how I feel. I feel very much liberated and
Damn
like a
good.
little sense of freedom because I was really following all the rules. I'm a rule follower.
I know you were averagely following the rules.
So it's very nice.
That is nice. That's a good feeling getting to see the fam again. Um, yeah, I haven't. I went back to see my fam in like February, but like I haven't done it. I haven't seen them like my whole family. I haven't seen them together once in a while. So that's gonna be nice to be able to do when things are a little bit more flowing. So that's definitely something I miss too. I think it's a real good feeling. Yeah, because we've known each other for so long. Like 10 years in the game. Because we met from I don't like naming people on that don't either want to be on or not. So we met through a mutual friend
We're not
or
gonna
like
name any
a
names.
mutual acquaintance. I mean, anybody that's been on the show, I feel like I'm like, fuck, you already been on, so I can say your name. But anybody that hasn't been on the show, I don't like them being I don't always name people because like you may not always want to be just associated with shit, like your own person.
Yeah, I won't name any names.
Yeah. But you being a friend of a friend, we actually met like it was at oh my god, it's so hard to talk without naming the people. We
Okay,
met at a party.
so I was brought to a party
Yes.
by my friend in high school. We ran across country together,
Yes, good use.
and she brought my other friend and I to this party because she was talking to this guy, and she was like, "Oh my god, like this group of guys is so amazing. Like we have to go to this party." And I'm like, "Okay, I'm down."
We are amazing.
So
Keep going. I love hearing about
still
this from a third party perspective.
still amazing. Um and we went to this kid's house. I thought I hit off with everybody. You don't think you hit it off with everybody because apparently you didn't like me at first. and and you were so mad at our other friend because he kept inviting me around, and you're like, oh my god, this girl Kelsey, like blah blah blah, she sucks. And and he was like, no, she's pretty cool. So I'm like, okay. So I really just never left. The girl that brought me to the house, I haven't talked to her in years. And I'm still friends with everyone that I met that day. So
you are. You are.
at
That
least a, at least a good portion of them.
you fucking are. You stuck around. That story is so funny because I definitely didn't like you. Now, I didn't dislike you. I just didn't give a fuck about you, which is just.
That was no. Yeah, exactly.
But it was like, why the fuck you keep bringing her back here? But I'm just like, I don't know. I was also younger. This was like I was like 19, Dom. So it wasn't like I would think I was like 19.
I
I
don't
don't
even know
know.
how old I was. I was
Yeah.
young. I was
Yeah,
still
I
in high
was
school.
yeah, I was young. Like this is just like freshman year, sophomore year college age me, like fuck everything. I'm the fucking beast. I'm a little kid. Or,
But
I'm the shit.
one one story I never will forget was your friends had did you live in that house?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
So you
during a
had a
few
house
days.
party. You had a house party, and it was St. Patrick's Day. And I came and I sat next to you, and I was like, "Hey, like, how's it going?" And you looked at me, got up, and walked away. I'll never forget.
I did that?
Got up, looked at me, and walked away. I think I was also just like so drunk that maybe you did say something, or maybe I took it out of context. But I was like, "Oh, okay, like it just doesn't fuck with me. Like that's fine."
Kelsey. No, I couldn't have been that bad.
There was a time where you really didn't like me, and like I knew you didn't like me. It was no big deal.
That's
It
true.
doesn't matter now.
It doesn't matter now, but like I always think of myself as pretty nice, but like damn, I was an asshole.
You you do you're nice, but I think when it comes to like your friends, like you're just like I don't need any more of these people in my life. Like
That
I
is
don't,
true. If I don't really like you that much and you're around a lot, it's just like, oh, I have to deal with this person again.
exactly. Exactly. And I was showing up everywhere.
You were. Oh my gosh, Kelsey, this is actually hilarious. I did not know like that. I forgot that like I didn't like you at one point. Like that's actually kind of fucking crazy.
I know, and the best part is like it doesn't matter because we're like such good friends now.
Yeah, that's fucking nuts. In my defense, I didn't like Ozzy either when I met him. Like
Really?
I kind of hated Ozzy when I met him. Yeah, yeah. So like we were in high school and he was a new kid, and I don't know, just like new kid beef. Like who the fuck's this new kid thinking he's like cool and shit? Like just hating a new kid for no reason. And I didn't like Oz. I was like, who the fuck is this? Like, I just everything about him just disgusted me. I was like, yo, fuck this guy. But eventually, well, Hash has been on the show. So Hash, Mikey, he he was friends with Ozzy, and me and Mikey were friends. And then Mikey kind of like bridged the gap to like make us friends. And like I fucking love Ozzy, and I fucking love you too. So it's like like it's funny how like my process of hating people like a lot of people that I'm good friends with, I usually hate in the beginning. Now I think about it, I definitely hate people, which you wouldn't think because it's not like it's not. Let me not use hate. Hate is a strong word, but there's definitely people that like I'm like, all right, like what are you bringing? Like why are you here? Damn, I guess I am kind of an asshole.
Well, you and Ozzy are now two peas in a pod,
Uh,
so
it, it always ends well in the end.
it's always full circle.
See, we're still great friends. I mean, Ozzy are still great friends. The world is still fucking a happy, joyful, smiley motherfucking place. But that story about me leaving is hilarious because that house, just we to go backtrack. In that house, we were just like a bunch of kids. It was like our college frat house basically. A bunch of our friends lived in there.
Yeah.
Ozzy, Hash, uh, Sean. Fuck it. I said Gavin before. I'm just gonna say Gavin again. And we had some other friends too. And like I just don't want to name everyone because I don't know how everyone wants to be named and things. But that house was like a great time because we were just in there just being young and reckless and not following anything. Like the thought of like the shit we used to be doing in the house is drinking alcohol, playing pong, and like drinking from the cup and then the cup and the ball hitting the floor. Like all the COVID rules that you're like, oh,
All the cool
stuff
stuff, yeah.
now. Like if COVID existed back then,
Disgusting.
that the thing about it, I'm like, that's disgusting.
Disgusting.
Just like our basement was called Ratchet Town, or just like it was
Ew.
this sweaty,
Ew.
groggy basement of just like little
I didn't
demons
even
down
need the
there.
vaccine. I just need to go into that basement. Oh my god. It was horrible.
Oh, oh man, we were just like, huh, we're so cool. We're the guys in the house here. Oh god, the level of douchebaggery of just like I think about us at that time was like
Yeah.
we're the cool kids. I don't know why you hung out with us then.
Yeah, I don't know either, but I maybe I was hoping that you guys would grow up, and you did. So,
We did. We did. See, I think like
and so did I.
you did. You did. You grew up a lot too.
Um, but I think your biggest change in what you saw in me was when we went to the Weekend concert,
Yeah.
and you're like, okay, this girl knows every lyric to every song.
Yeah. That definitely that was a big moment. We all went. We went there and we were in Chris's New York spot. Um, yeah, we had a whole squad too. Now, do you still have that photo?
Oh yeah. Oh, the I forgot about the yeah, I do have that picture.
Yeah, that's a great picture. Are you talking about the one with the Kissland one, or which one are you talking about?
No, we went to Barclays Center.
Yeah, I remember that one. But what were you talking about? Were you talking about a different concert than that concert?
No, that was the concert I was talking about.
Okay, cool. That's the first one I was thinking about too.
I forgot
That's
we stayed in Chris's New York apartment.
yeah. That was such a fucking great time. Oh my gosh. But yeah, the weekend definitely. Once you like the weekend, I'm like, you can't be that bad. Music brings us all together. I mean,
I
you
know,
were a great person already, but as far as like young Dom, like
but add some good music taste into the mix and
add some good music taste and doors open up. That's funny
exactly.
because
Exactly.
you're probably one of the biggest weekend heads I know too.
Yeah.
Yeah, like you.
Really?
Yeah, I don't really know anyone else that likes him the same way you do.
I think he got me through a lot, as cheesy as that sounds.
Me too.
I think everyone has like that one artist that and Kid Cudi, I think those are like the two main artists
Yeah, for me it's
that
probably
probably were my therapy when I needed therapy the most. When I needed actual therapy.
yeah, yeah. For me it's probably him, Kid Cudi, Kanye. It depends on what mood I'm in. Certain people for certain moods, but definitely like those are definitely some of like the high ones.
The Weeknd's always my go-to.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. What's your favorite song by him? What are your favorite five songs?
5 songs.
Mm-hmm.
Um, damn. I probably have it written down somewhere.
You probably do.
That's a hard question. How do I pick only 5 songs?
What's let's just say what are some of your go tos that like
Okay, the 5 songs that come to my head first are Montreal because he speaks French and my heart melts every time he speaks French. Die for You,
mm,
which is a recent one, which is my favorite one. I think EXO the Host
oh yeah.
because it has the he doesn't do um like the 3 minutes. What is that called when they have like the second song and the first song? It's called like the
I have no idea what that thing is called, but I know it has the two different songs. I love the song too.
like 2 songs in one. The second part of that song is always my favorite
Oh,
when it gets like super dark at the end.
yeah. Oh,
And then there's one from Beauty Behind the Mask that I can't think of. It's like the third song. I can I can picture it on the
tell
album.
your friends.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
how many was that? 4?
I think that was four.
And I'm trying to think of one from the little album,
Oh my
Wasted
god,
Times,
my
maybe?
dear melancholy.
My Dear Melancholy.
Oh my god. That
Maybe
that
Wasted
oh
Times.
my god. Oh, oh my gosh.
Does that one do it for you? Does that one?
That whole tape is just so good. He just dropped it. Like I remember when he dropped it, I was
Mhm.
just like, it was just random. I just woke up one day and I was like, what is this? And it was cold outside, and I was like, this is everything I
Oh, you
need
remember
right
the whole
now.
day?
Oh my gosh. I remember the day. Cause I was like, I wasn't expecting it. I was like, oh my God. I was like, when new music comes out to me, like that is like I don't really there's not too many things I follow that hard. So like I don't really watch that much TV. I don't like I'll watch like some of the major sports events, but I don't have like a major sports team. So like when music drops, that's like the thing that like, oh, let me just get in.
Yeah.
So I was like, when I remember when that dropped, I was like, I wasn't expecting it. And it was just like every song hit. I was just like,
Every song is so good.
oh, oh, um, sorry. I'm getting a little worked up.
But also he released him in the studio, which he
Yes.
never does, and he had like a little video clips.
Oh my God. It's so cool, man. We've seen him change so much
I
as an
know, we've seen him
artist.
cut his hair. The day he cut his hair, I think I probably cried.
Yeah, that was crazy. That was crazy. That was the big moment. I remember we saw his face because I remember I thought it was so cool because it's like, yo, he just never showed himself. He just fired
Yeah.
music and no face. And then it
It
was
was
the
like Travis
face.
Scott. Remember when Travis Scott didn't show his face? Also because he's ugly, but but he didn't show his face for so long.
I think there's definitely a power in not showing yourself in the music. It's just like
Definitely.
adds to the mystique. It really does. But I think I want to say my favorite songs too, just because it's something
You
that
have
I
to.
think is a good question. But yeah,
Because
it's hard to
my
say the
five is
actual
probably
favorites.
so different from your five.
Yeah, I think XO and the Host is one of my favorites too. That's when I play and like I end up liking different songs at different times. Like I feel
Yes.
like
Every song always feels like the first time.
it does. Like that trilogy, The Weeknd has been like my top artist on Spotify for like 5 years because it's just like
Yeah.
everything I do, I just play him so much. Because I think between just having his music be what it is, how good his music is, and then like for me, as long as I've been invested, just seeing go through the phases of like him going from before an album to a Super Bowl, being a Super
Mhm.
Bowl like act, like I just feel like I'm like that was me, I was part of it, like I got him there, I did it.
I know. It's so funny how people who like watch an artist are always like, "Oh my god, I knew them before they were famous," but like you truly knew him before before they were famous. You truly knew him before he was famous.
I really did. Like I wish I if I wish I really the one thing I wish I could have had money to like put in him because I'd be rich as fuck right now.
Yeah, yeah,
But
you
hey,
would be.
you gotta just find the next one and keep going. But anyway, the songs,
Okay, so
the
five favorite
songs,
songs.
the five favorite
Hit me.
songs. Okay, definitely XO and the Host. Definitely House Balloons and Glass Table Girls. Um, God, I love Rolling Stone.
Oh yeah.
I
Oh
love
yeah.
Rolling Stone, and I love the video, and I love that he left a note of like he's gonna change because he's getting famous. Oh man, I was like, there's just so many things. I'm like, it just speaks to like my fandom. I'm like, he just did this right on so many levels. I really love Heaven in Las Vegas because like it's such a song that no one
Oh
ever
yeah.
talks about. That
Hmm.
like, if you know that song, I'm like, I love you as a human, just
Yeah.
because like it's just so like it's so him, but like so like it's not popular at all. So
Mm-mm.
that's like my secret, like, like I'm a real fan. I know this song. Um,
Okay.
we all have our little nerdy moments. And then damn, there's so many. That is all this trilogy shit. Like, um, I guess I can name a newer one. I also really like. Damn, this is hard.
It's hard.
I also really like. Uh, if I had to pick one, I think I'm gonna go with My Dear Melancholy, just because I like the impact of that one. I also really like I Was Never There. That one
Oh,
like
that's a good one too.
hits a lot too. Like,
Okay, I feel like you should pick one song per album.
oh, I could do this
That,
all day, Kel. So you want to
that's
just
your
make this the XO podcast? Like I'm fucking game. Okay, one album. You want to go first, or do you want me to go first?
I feel like I already did pick one from each because I picked.
You did. You did. Oh my god, I have to pick one off the trilogy.
Okay, wait. Let's start from the beginning. You have to pick one off of trilogy.
Oh my god, Kelsey, this is so hard. I'm
This
just
was
gonna
for
go with House of
me.
Balloons then.
Okay. And then what was next? Kissland. Oh, I didn't
Kissland.
pick any from Kissland.
That's what I'm saying. Kissland is so good. I think my favorite off there might be. God, it's so hard. I really like Kissland, but I think I like adaptation more.
Okay. Mine's Pretty for Kissland.
Oh, oh, that's good.
Yours is Adaptation, mine's Pretty. What's next?
Next is Beauty Behind the Madness.
Okay.
Is it still Tell Your Friends, or you get to change it?
I think I like Tell Your Friends.
I like recently, like I love that song when it came out. I forgot about it, and then I heard like the beat. I heard a sample of the beat recently, and I was like, "Oh shit, I forgot about this song. I used to love it." It was like an old friend just kind of came back to me. But if I had to pick a song, it has to be The Hills, only because I went to go see him. My first trip to Cali, I went to go see him in Vegas, like in the trip, and he debuted The Hills for the first time, like live there, and I was like, I didn't know what the song was. He said, "This is a new song that's coming out, blah blah blah," and I was like,
Oh my
"Oh,
god.
cool! I'm gonna love this song." And I was like, "Oh, cool! I still love this song."
Yeah, that's a good one. I think I'm still gonna have to do Tell Your Friends, but also I really like In the Night because the music video with him and Bella Hadid. I was a big fan of him and Bella Hadid.
Yeah, that was
I
that
feel like
was
he deserves a supermodel.
he definitely does. I wonder what happened to him too.
I don't know.
He's like pretty private too. So like you never like you see him, but you never like get to see what he's doing.
Right.
So what's next? Starboy?
Starboy's next. There's a lot of good ones on
There
Starboy
is a lot of good
that I
ones on
like.
Starboy. I hated Starboy when it first came out too.
You
Like
did?
I hated the song Starboy because it was just like so poppy
Oh
compared
yeah.
to what he was before. But looking at it now, it was still so much him than where he is now. Like it's like it fits in more like post, like after I see like what he did now, because like
Mhm.
he's
I
still
can agree
him,
with
but like
that.
he's just not the same.
I can agree with that. We weren't expecting it because we didn't want him to go the pop route.
Exactly. I was like, fuck, we're losing him.
Yeah.
But it's like I was like now I'm like I love it. I'm like, oh, this is like one of his first songs. It was just like, yeah. But what's your
And
favorite
they're
song
so
off Starboy?
good. Such like feel good songs,
It
all of
is.
them.
They are. Because everything else is so dark and like
Right.
I got to be in a dark mood to do it. So I can't like I can't play the weekend at a party where I'm like, oh, let me just fucking.
But you can play Starboy at a
But
party.
you can't. So it's like, oh, put a song on. I'm like, well, I can put Starboy on. So yes, that's exactly what I'm like. All right, what's your
Did you
favorite
pick
song
one?
though?
Die for You.
Oh, you did say Die for You. Fuck. Mm,
And Reminder is really good.
Reminder's definitely my favorite song. 100% my favorite song. 1,000. And the video. Oh my gosh,
Yeah, the video.
the video just like, yeah, that's a tough one. There's a lot of jams on there.
All right, my dear Melancholy is next.
All right, well, I already said I Was Never There. It's definitely my favorite.
Yeah, Wasted Times for me.
Yeah. And to call out my name is just so fucking beautiful. It's just like
And the video
it
is
is,
beautiful.
oh my God. It's just like misery in a fucking,
Him with the birds.
yes. I'm like,
And he's like on stage in black and white, and all the birds are like, how does he think of that?
I have no idea. I have
I think
no
he's a
idea.
genius.
He is like his life's just there's just so much darkness in him that I'm just like, fuck, like do it.
He's just so talented. How does
He
he do
is.
everything? He
I
can
don't know.
sing, he can rap, he can story tell.
That's why he's a star, man. That's
I
fucking
know.
dope. That's fucking dope. What's next?
After Hours. Is that it?
Oh, is that it?
Is
I
that
feel like
all of them?
damn, we already went through all of them.
Oh no. Yeah, My Dear Melancholy was 2018,
Damn.
and After Hours is 2020. He's definitely had some good features too
Yeah, his
in
featuring is
between. But
impeccable.
yeah, After Hours is next.
Wow.
2020, closing it in.
Oof. I really liked. Oh my gosh, I went through so many phases of this fucking album. I hated it for a while though too.
I hate it too.
I hated it. I hated it for a while. I didn't like it till like recently. Like I liked Heartless when it came out. Like Heartless is the best song ever, and like Blinding Lights and shit. Then I love Blinding Lights. I was like Heartless didn't age well. Like I don't ever want to hear Heartless again.
Mm-mm.
I love Blinding Lights. Then it like got overplayed, and I'm like I never want to hear Blinding Lights again.
Heartless is like Can't Feel My Face. When I hear
Yes,
Can't Feel My Face, I want to die.
like I loved them when they came out, but I'm like, oh my god, that song was just such like it was like a quick little like,
Yeah.
but then like it just didn't last for like anything else.
I
Like
don't know my favorite one on. I wouldn't pick anything off After Hours.
I would pick. I actually like After Hours the song. I think that's probably the
Yeah.
closest song to like him sounding like old him in the
Hmm.
new form. But I also really like Too Late. Like I kind of grew into like, and he's like, no,
Okay.
no, no.
And I like Snow Child too.
Some Child is good.
Snow
Especially,
Child gives me Tell Your Friends vibes.
yes, I agree with that. I agree with that.
That's it. That's all the albums.
That is all the albums. Oh, Kels, you just know the fucking EXO is just so you're as deep in it as I am. What are some of your other favorite albums? Because all your music taste is dope. So,
I've been listening to a lot of old school Kanye.
ooh.
All I've always have done that, but it seems like recently I'm really getting deep into old school Kanye.
Like what album are you talking? Like College Dropout or like
I think Graduation is my favorite album,
it's my favorite too.
or My Dark Twisted Fantasy.
Yeah, I played like the Runaway video recently. I think
I've been getting into. I also think this happens to me a lot when people die, like when DMX died. It makes me want to like relive that era.
yeah,
Like when Nip died, all of that. I'm like, okay, like these people are like legendary. Like they're legendary for a reason.
they are. You got to go back
I
to
have
what
to go
made them
back.
who they
Sometimes I
are.
like love to go back because I don't know what it is. I am not into the hip hop nowadays.
It is very different.
It's very different. Only because I my first CD um was a Kanye CD, and I can't think of what was it? Actually, it wasn't my first CD. It was my sister's first CD, and I stole it from her and listened to it, and I was like, oh my god, like this is incredible.
That's amazing.
It's the one with Heartless on it.
Oh, 808s and Heartbreaks.
Yes, 808s and Heartbreaks.
Oh, that album.
My all-time favorite album. My
That
first CD was, well, like I said, sister's first CD was 808s and Heartbreaks. And then mine was Britney Spears.
talk
And I
about
was
the
like,
contrast right there.
two legends.
Legendary. That is fucking amazing. I love 808s and Heartbreaks.
So good. So I'm like listening to it again and I'm like, this is incredible.
I
Because
think
I put on like today's hip hop and I'm like, this is not it for me.
it's very different. You have to be in a different space to even like I check out some songs. I'm just like, all right, like I kind of try to find the groove, but it's definitely not the same.
Mm-mm.
I think I feel like 808s and Heartbreaks like taught you how to like I feel like the reason I like the Weeknd so much, I like that sound because of 808s and
Hmm.
Heartbreaks. Like it like changed my sound pattern to be like, oh my god, like give me the sad sound right now.
It's because of the production. If you really think of, if you really listen to Kanye and every beat he's making is like is noises. He's creating everything.
You're right. That's a good way to put it.
It's so good. It's
Damn,
so
Kels,
good.
that's a gem right there. That's a fucking gem. I damn. Good shit. But yeah, I think I also think Yeezus, like I really like Yeezus. Most people hate it. I love that album, like because it's so fucking like what the fuck are you doing? And he just like fucking did it.
I loved it. I don't think I've ever not liked a song that he made.
Yeah. Some of the shit on Ye I didn't like.
On what?
On Ye, like the last one he put out before
Oh.
like the one that had like I love being bipolar. I hate being bipolar. It's
Oh.
awesome.
But I like um what's her name? 070 Shake. Is that who
Mm.
that is?
Mm-hmm.
I like her a lot.
Yeah, because she was on what song on there?
I thought she was on that one, but I'm wrong.
I don't know. You could be right. I know she's on there, but I don't remember what song she's on.
Yeah, you sound just like her.
I've been working on my singing voice. So what are some of your like favorite go to albums? You don't have to pick your favorite overall. Just like if you had to off the top of your head, what are like your album go to music feeling vibes?
My so my parents listened to a lot of Counting Crows. Have
Okay,
you ever listened to them?
I have not, but enlighten me.
So they're almost like if you put on like Counting Crows radio on Pandora, like John Mayer would pop up,
Okay,
or like Lord Huron. It's like that, like Bon Iver, like that kind of vibe,
okay,
but very much like a little bit more upbeat, very fun. So I grew up on a lot of like that kind of music, and I got myself like into hip hop. But everything comes full circle. I think a lot of like hip hop is always inspired. Everything's inspired by everything.
I agree.
But I will always be like a Counting Crows fan. I love that vibe of music. You'll have to listen to it
Yeah, I have new things to look out. I love finding new music to attach to.
because I like a good like Sunday morning playlist.
Yes,
You know,
that is a vibe.
sometimes I don't love like everything so upbeat and like
Oh
lyric.
God,
Like
no.
I love a bass and a guitar and just like the vibes. Thank you, mom and dad, for listening to this.
She might.
My mom definitely will.
Yeah.
She's a big Dom Jackson Kelsey supporter. Mitz. Hi
Mm.
Mitzi.
But yeah, I what else? What other albums?
What did oh I was gonna say what did you grow up listening to?
Um, like a lot of Michael Jackson. Like my dad loved Michael Jackson. Like a lot. Like a
Yeah,
lot. So
as he should.
yeah, a whole lot of Mike. Um, a lot of like my mom like a lot of 80s stuff too. A lot of 80s stuff. A lot of like a lot of old soulful stuff. So like um trying to think of some artists like definitely like a lot of Whitney.
Hmm.
Um, then like I used to get a lot of Ace of Base too, which is funny.
The what?
Ace of Base.
Oh yeah,
That's like a I guess they're pop.
right.
Um, not like a lot of hip hop. Well, like I think my dad played it, but he didn't let us hear it, and thank God he didn't. Some of that shit, I'm like, yeah, I'm glad I couldn't hear the shit when I was younger. Um, and then a little bit of now everything I listen to is mostly like it was either like Michael Jackson or like some like Donny Hathaway or something. It
Oh
was always
yeah.
black stuff or it was like 80s pop. I guess that's why I like the
Oh,
Weeknd so much because he definitely just fits in both of those two categories. But that's like the most
yeah.
majority of shit I heard as a kid.
I know my mom always listened to like Madonna and like Culture Club, and now I have all those albums, which is like amazing.
Yeah, it kind of just takes you back, it puts you back in it, you know.
Yeah,
It's a good feeling. It's a real good feeling. I feel like it kind of, it's always like a little timestamp of life, or just like you just I saw a post that was like, when you find a song you haven't heard in a while, it's like going back to an old friend. I was like,
no.
it's like going back to an old friend. I'm like, I've missed you.
Sweet. That's so sweet. Oh.
But it's so true. I was like, oh my God. I was like, this is it. This is what speaks to me.
This is the feeling I was seeking.
Yes. Yes. They're like little time capsules of all the feelings you had, you know.
Amazing.
Damn, that's a good way to describe it. I'm dropping some gems out here. I didn't even fucking know I had.
I know. I already forgot about the app idea. Hopefully you didn't.
Well, the good thing this shit's recorded, so whatever whatever's coming out just comes out, you know.
We'll have to think of a name. When I listen to this back, I'll have to think of a name.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. It's a process. But the ideas are just flowing. Do you have anything else you want to say to the people? Any other thoughts in your head at the moment?
No, but I want to say to you, Dom Jackson, this has been so much fun. I'm so proud of you. I was telling my uncle the other day that you have a podcast and I was going to be on it, and it's so cool. I love this. I love you.
Kels.
I'm so happy to be here.
Kels.
I love
Thank you.
supporting my friends.
Thank you, Kels. That means the world to me. It means the fucking world to me. And I love to have you on. I'm so glad to have you on here, you know. Known you long enough that, like, you know, this was more than something in the making. 'Cause I think there's always a certain level of like there's so much fun shit I can do when I meet new people and interview them and like collab. Then like talking to your friends, just having like a timestamp of just
Mhm.
like a moment in time, just like you and your friends, just like people you've known for so long. Just like this is a level of like rich, just like fucking wholesomeness.
It is. It's so fun to reminisce. I feel like this is like how we always FaceTime. We were just reminisce.
It is.
So fun and cute.
It is. Just going back into the classic moments in time, you know. Such a good time. But Kels, thanks so much for being on the show. Guys, thank you so much for listening. Hope you guys enjoyed the video and take care.